Welcome back. Thank you so much for joining us on our movement towards movement. And we've seen how much can be achieved when you just connect with your body. But what if we take it to the ultimate, to the extreme, like bodybuilding? From, of course, Arnold Schwarzenegger to The Rock, bodybuilding has influenced sports, fashion, film, the ever-growing fitness industry. I think all of us have that physique that we aspire to.
For sure. And here to help us understand it a little better is attorney by day. Sounds like a superhero. Bodybuilding enthusiast in his spare time. Chad Clayton. Chad, lucky to have you, my friend.
Good morning. Thank you so much for having me on the show. Such a pleasure being here.
It's been such an inspirational show, from getting, dietary advice and, motivation and discipline and unpacking all of that. But now we're taking it one level further.
Yeah, tip of the spear.
Tip of the spear, bodybuilding. So what got you into it in the first place? What attracted you to the sport?
I think for me, the thing that attracted me to bodybuilding is the aspect of being able to push your body to that next level. I would say that everybody is bodybuilders in a sense. Any movement that you do, you're building your body. But the edge to bodybuilding is that pushing your not only physical abilities, but also your mental abilities as well. Pushing yourself to be stage ready, because remember, once you're competing on the stage, you're completely showing a different package to what people would call abnormal, so to say. And that is where bodybuilders find, that community between themselves of being able to know that they've pushed that the 3-month prep or whatever prep may be, to be able to show that package on stage where that vascularity, that definition, all of that. So that is the amazing part.
That's what I find fascinating, is the ability to manipulate your body and change it and see it change, and how intricate those processes are.
Buddy, when last did you have to cut? Just how difficult is it to go through that final phase? Now, it speaks to the discipline that's involved, and I think that's where it becomes a fine art, is because it requires on every level, from the nutrition to the physical activity. Did you have that mindset going into this, or is that something you've had to kind of chisel out, panel beat along the way?
What I love about bodybuilding is that there's no blueprint to, a specific diet or to cutting, so to say. And the great thing about the community of bodybuilding is also that you get and you share advice from everybody, because my body is different to yours, and each one's body is different. So in order,
thanks for pointing that out, bro. Yes, my body is slightly different to yours.
So I competed in a show last year, and the last month was when you really have to cut. When you drop your water, you drop all the carbs in your body as well, and that is where you get rid of what we call is that subcutaneous water, which is that water between your muscle and your skin. And in order to do that drop, you're really pushing your body to the next level. So you're cutting all carbs from your diet. It's just proteins. You're having 6 eggs for breakfast, mushrooms, cooking no oils, things like that. You're just drinking water. So that is really...
Distilled water.
And the discipline with cutting also is that you're so lethargic, but you know that you have that end goal in mind, that you're willing to push through that also.
We've all seen someone gassing out just doing a pose, Brie, and you're like, oh, buddy, I'm sorry, man.
Look, I think that both of us know as well what it takes, to get rid of that subcutaneous level of water, because it is intense. But I want to, whenever somebody sees, bodybuilding as a sport, or see you guys on stage, there's always the thought of like, okay, supplementation and the misconceptions around, what you take, and steroids specifically as well. What's your view on that? What are some of the misconceptions out there that you can maybe rectify for us?
So look, some of the biggest misconceptions, and especially those that are just getting into the fitness industry, especially with regards to supplementation-wise, they often misconstrue supplements to be steroids also. Now, steroids in a nutshell, that increases your anabolic levels in your body, where supplementations are more as an aid to assist you and
to replenish your fuel.
To replenish. And basically what supplementation also is, it's a concentrated form of nutrients that we find in our normal whole foods also as well, such as your proteins, your carbohydrates. And for me especially, being an attorney and working a full day, when I can't eat my 4 chicken breasts, it's so easy just to take a protein shake, or just to refuel the body. And like, people would also think creatine especially, that's quite a controversial topic as well.
It's the Mac Daddy, man. I'm sorry, it's the Mac Daddy for me.
People would think creatine is also a steroid, whereas creatine is more just to pump energy into your muscles and help you with that recovery also as well. So there's a big misconception also about supplements
What you can
and what you can use. Yeah.
And speak to the guys. Like you say, there's a community of amazing people ready to plug into. I mean, creatine won us the 95 World Cup. Don't make no mistakes, dude. I'm all about that. If someone wants to start this journey, wants to plug into this collective mindset and start this journey for themselves, what's the best way to do that?
So the most amazing thing about bodybuilding in South Africa at the moment is that we're still in the developing stage of bodybuilding. And I belong to a federation called the IBFF Federation, and we have some amazing guys. So we have our president of the Cape Town, Michael Davis, as well as our national president, Arnie, also. And what these guys are actually doing is they're developing the sport in the country, because one of the biggest barriers to bodybuilding at the moment is the financial constraints.
Access,
you know, it's access to bodybuilding. And what they're actually doing is developing bodybuilding in these communities. I must say, as South Africans, we have one of the best genetics in the world for bodybuilding. Yeah, it's just to get to the international stage, it's quite a constraint. So what these guys are doing is they're developing the sport. There's federations on Instagram. You can follow them, IBFF, Cape Classic also as well. There's a show the 29th of July. So there's many guys, especially the younger generation, not just guys and girls as well. And once you go and watch a bodybuilding show and you see what it entails, I mean, it's that posing on stage, you know, that illusion that you create. It's an art form. You literally fall in love with that, and that's how you get to enjoy bodybuilding.
I love how passionate you are.
Yeah, no, I love
it. Really is.
No, you've got to be, dude, in this game.
Yeah, you know what? And it really comes down to when you want to, like, if you haven't done bodybuilding before, you want to get into it. I mean, it's good to have a community like that, because you need the ins and outs. You need that information. Chad, we're not done with you. We want to see a couple of poses. Maybe you can teach us a thing or two a little bit later on. We're not done yet. Bringing your kinds of inspiration this morning.
Is today leg day? Today leg day?
No, today is leg day Tuesday. Yesterday was International Chest Day.
That's why. Now we understand. He ain't going nowhere. If you want a bit of inspiration, and I'm going to call it again a fine art, because they take the nuance of physical development to another level. Stick around.